Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hello, I am written by the chat, just in case you're wondering. All my words that come from the chat in our Discord server, which you can join over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and becoming a YouTube member. So, yes, do that. Anyway, are we ready to get into these questions, Ian?
We certainly are, chat-generated Kyle.
Okay, good. No, and just chat, not chat GPT. It's different things. All right, Opal has a question to start us off. Sega has you and a team make a dating sim where the player gets to try and woo the villains, which includes Eggman, Starline, Surge, Rough and Tumble, their package deal, and the end. How do the dates go, and how does the player win their hearts? Should we just assume that the player character is once again Barry?
Why not?
Finally can date the moon. Wow. I mean... Sokka knows all about that. My girlfriend's the moon.
That's rough, buddy. So Eggman, you basically just have to stay silent through all of his talking prompts and let him talk about himself.
Yeah.
And then compliment him on himself. And it's an easy one. Starline, just keep asking him about Eggman. And agree with everything he says. You know, if he says Eggman's a jerk for ruining what they had, you go, yes, you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. But Eggman's brilliant. You can't be criticizing him. You're right. I was wrong to criticize him. Doesn't matter if it makes any logic. You just have to roll with it. Surge, make fun of Sonic and pay for everything. Easy peasy. Rough and Tumble. Rough and Tumble's kind of a gag ending because you never actually go out with them in the end. They just kind of go off together and you go, oh.
I see.
I was the third wheel. Okay, sure.
Yes. You're there to support them. That's your job.
Yeah. And the end?
That's how you save the world.
Oh, dang it.
Show them the power of
funny
love.
Reply, but we're a family show, so
you know. Are we a family show though? I don't know.
We are.
Well, we try. We fail, but we try.
I can't think of anything funny to say about the end.
We already did. You get to date the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Okay. Let's end on that high note.
That's rough and tumble, buddy. The end is
maybe throw in a line where it appreciates you dating them, even though they're such a crater face. Ba-rum-bum.
Oh no. All right, here's one from Pandulce. Now that Starline quote-unquote knows that Eggman Nega is his and Dr. Eggman's descendant, how do you think they'd spend quality time together? What would Starline do to get along with his descendant? Also, if you're wondering, this is not canon. This is only Bumble canon.
Yeah.
Make sure that we make that clear. This is not official.
We're talking like post-breakup, then making fun of Eggman. They both seem to delight in talking about what an idiot he is and how much better they are than him. And let's go prank him.
Yeah.
Do you want to go roll the latest egg base? Yes. Let's go steal like a Costco's worth of toilet paper and roll the egg base.
Literally. See how it is.
And the best thing is it's so juvenile, he'll never suspect us. They'll think it's Sonic. Geniuses.
Brilliant. Only Sonic would do something so pedantic. And speaking of pedantic, here's one from Pedanticat. So Ian, as someone who has worked on kids media for a while now, what are your thoughts on the standards and practices many licensors still enforce to this day, such as not allowing writers to use words such as kill or dead? Like when you first began working on Sonic, did you already know ahead of time that you'd never be able to use those words and instead had to use words such as destroy and gone? Or was it a habit that took you a while to break? And does it ever bug you that you can't use the stronger and more accurate words?
I went into it with that assumption, just kind of looked at what comparable comics and television were producing. It's like, okay, I've picked up on those word choices. I'm assuming it's going to apply to this.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, it was more like I accidentally, crossed a line here or there. It's like, got to roll it back. Can't say those things. It's like, okay, fine. I'm not a big fan of it because kids aren't stupid. They know what that means.
Yeah.
And they will have to confront the concept of death and its finality some way or another, and doing it in children's media in such a way that it's introduced gently in a way that's digestible for them, as long as it's done well, is, I think a perfectly valid way of storytelling. That isn't me endorsing the idea of we need like full-blown war is hell, death, murder, mayhem for kids, because no, you don't need to do that. I just think that if you are going to make that decision in your story to have such a conclusive end for a character, then treat it with the respect and maturity that you would with any other media. And yeah, it might upset the kids. Death is a sad, upsetting thing, but allowing them to process that within a media and language that they can understand and handle, I think helps guide them and help them grow so that when they confront it in the real world, in terms that they have no control over and in terms that they may not fully understand, they would be better prepared for it. Right? Sheltering kids is generally a disservice, in my mind, at least.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, that doesn't mean, you have to desensitize them immediately. How was your first day of preschool, Timmy? Great, let's go watch Clockwork Orange. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you can make media that is age appropriate. And, beyond that, it is the parent or guardian's responsibility to monitor what their child or charge is consuming and, look at it. Consume it yourself and see if it fits with what you think is appropriate for them at their age level and maturity level. Don't foist it all upon the creators. We're just making stuff for as wide an audience as we can get. Your kid, raise it.
Yeah. Be a parent for once. All right, Scurvy Pirate Dog is here with a question. An interdimensional portal opens at Eggman's HQ, and Chaos Sonic from Sonic Prime pops out. He wants to join Prime Eggman's empire. How does Eggman, Metal Sonic, Sage, Orbot, and Cubot feel about this robot Sonic who's got a talent to annoy his enemies?
Initially, Eggman's going to be, rather chuffed. Here's another robot, another Metal Sonic-like robot that already is loyal and wants to kill Sonic. Great, go get him, champ. But that sass, that attitude, all the talking, it's going to wear thin on him real quick.
That's got to go.
He's looking over at Metal Sonic's like, I remember him now. Why didn't install a mouth on you? Metal, not going to like him. One more thing getting in the way of him and Sonic. It was nice and simple. Him, Sonic, one true Sonic, who's going to survive? That's it. Now you have this guy cramping up his style.
This inferior, this worthless consumer model.
Sage thinks he's hilarious. He's so cute. What with his little emotive eyes and all the funny jokes he makes. Father, can we keep this one?
Yeah.
And Orbot and Cubot, great. One more robot that they have to clean up after and catalog and whatnot. But, that's their lot in life. And they wouldn't mind him if he just kept the barbs for Sonic. Why does he have to make fun of them?
Yeah.
They're all on the same team. He doesn't need to be so hurtful. They're not built for combat.
It's a Wish.com version of Metal Sonic. Ouch. All right, Sylvia, the Lynx has a question. Jewel and Charmy are insects. Does this mean they come from eggs? Did they have larval stages before metamorphizing into their current shapes? If this is true, is it common knowledge among non-insectoid normies?
I honestly don't know.
This is a question that you don't ask.
I don't think there's an official wording on the reproduction cycles and maturation of these characters. I don't think we ever going to go there. I don't know.
How is Babby formed? Not on this franchise. Here's one from Spoiler 1001. Good news, shipping question. Lanolin decides to hire a certain Fiona Fox to help out the Diamond Cutters. How long before the fox decides to turn on the charm and woo the stressed out sheep? This is an interesting crack ship. You know what? I'm okay with it.
Is this like Fiona post heel turn and this is all an excuse to infiltrate? Or is she like tired of everything that she left behind in the Archieverse and she's legit looking to start over?
I think we said like if she ever came to IDW, she would want to be like starting over.
Yeah, like absolutely done with everything. It's like, okay, new universe.
It's like everything new you. Yeah.
How Fiona got her groove back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that scenario, I don't know if it would necessarily. I don't know if that would work because Lanolin wants things to make sense. She wants to have some control over the situation. She wants there to be guidelines, not necessarily to like min-max everything, but she just wants some kind of stability in life. Okay. Can't just rely on some blue hedgehog to run out of the blue and hit the giant robot. You know, you need a backup plan. You need a forward plan. Sonic will save us is not a plan. Come on, guys. And Fiona doesn't really want to follow anybody else's direction. Not wanting to, dance to someone else's tune. This is the new universe, or new you. And now this bossy sheep lady is telling her when to clock in. No, she's out.
What does she do? End up over at Surge's place? Great.
No.
She'd
take one look. She'd take one look at Surge and go, Now pulling the pin on that grenade again.
Trades one green doppelganger for the other. No, thank you.
Been there, done that. Learned my lesson. No. She might just go solo.
I mean, maybe. At this rate. Probably
just
for
open
the
up
best.
like a tourist shop at a pothos and just gouge people on the prices and laugh at the tourists.
Good for her. Supersonic Lover has a question. In Lost World Wii U, the Deadly Six all appear to die after their boss battles in the final area. Since 5 of them have death animations they lack in the rest of the game, while Zavok falls into the lava. This has led to some people thinking that the Wii U version isn't canon, while the 3DS version is. I always thought that those were there just since this was the final battle against them in the game, but what is the official word, as far as you are aware, to explain this seeming discrepancy?
It's a gameplay thing.
I thought they died, but they got better.
Like, sure, they poof into smoke and stars or whatever. Zaz falls into lava, but they're clearly back afterwards, so it's a gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, they had lives like Sonic does.
And having a character disappear from the screen is somehow less violent than seeing their lifeless body on the ground.
I guess.
It's one thing for Sonic to smash a robot to pieces. It's another thing for him to beat a living creature into submission. So having them fall off screen or disappear somehow is less violent than showing them incapacitated. It's purely gameplay,
I suppose. And we got this question here before we take a break from Switchel. If you could make a Dragoon video game, what would it be like? Would you prefer it be a AAA big budget game with a ton of polish but probably more corporate restrictions, or a smaller indie game with less cooks in the kitchen and more true to your creative vision?
Your question should be worded, which video games? Because goodness knows I don't have multiple half-baked pitch docs sitting in a folder.
No, of course not. Of course you don't. This is a joke, by the way. He does. He absolutely 100% does.
Like, got one concept in mind that's kind of a Mass Effect-y type thing where you play as a 5-star marshal. You have to recruit others on your mission to uncover corruption within the marshals themselves, and it takes you across the multiple realms as a good excuse to explore the world and all the various cultures and get in there. A Sin and Punishment style runner gunner rail shooter type thing.
Nice.
Where you are a thief and you have to get into a location, grab the thing, and then get out with your life. Maybe make an enchanty so you have a bit of a flight hover ability just for extra fun maneuverability, but make it all about big set pieces that you're zipping through at high speed as various forces are trying to stop you. Keep coming back to a concept that works in multiple formats where you basically find a very large and lush oasis out in the ether and, explore it. That could be a Metroidvania. That could be a procedural generated thing. That could be a very simple mobile game where you keep generating new oases to mine for materials to improve your thing, to go to a new oasis, to mine more things. Came up with a fun idea for a, different type of RPG mechanic. And it's like, what if we put it in that oasis scenario again? You're like recruiting other people who are mining the place and go from there. I know Adams had an idea for an action game revolving around the cast, just kicking all sorts of butt. Had kind of a back pocket idea of explaining the Century campaign of King Arcturus done Fire Emblem style, because when else are we going to go back and tell that era of the game? It's not crucial to the immediate story, but it is kind of integral to the Humaheim's past. And Kyle, why do I not have the billions of dollars to fund all this?
That is truly the perpetual question.
I mean, the Galaxy Brain idea is basically World of Warcraft, but Dragoon. Pick your race, pick your starter realm, and just live your virtual life in the cosmos. Do you sign up with Galaxond? Are you an independent mana hunter? Do you go full pirate? Do you join the Crimson Smile, for pity's sake, and go the harder evil route? Just, oh my God, dude. Like, I have flashbacks of the old Star Wars MMO and how you could, like, make your own little farmstead out on a planet somewhere, own your own ship, and go flying around before they, like, dumbed it down and redid the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, actual secondary virtual life. I want that. For Dragoon.
Good old Star Wars Galaxy style. Yeah. That would be freaking great. Well, maybe someday you'll get the money and be able to do that. Maybe. Here's hoping. In the meantime, though, we're going to take a quick break. Come back with more on this edition of the BumbleKast. We're back, and here's a question from the internet person. In the Japanese guide, they refer to Devil Doom as Black Doom's true form. There's no evidence that he uses the emeralds to transform into the form in game, yet the encyclopedia states it is a transformation by the emeralds. Is this an error or correction?
I would want to review it with the team just for safety's sake, but me personally, I would call it a correction. Because if it's his true form, how does that make any amount of sense? Why is he tiny legless floating pastor guy? Why does he have the one eyeball that flits between heads? I don't know. That doesn't add up for me. And the encyclopedia did go through Saga for approvals. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's worth revisiting to double check, but I mean, he's dead. So,
or is he?
Oh, Shadow, really, he killed him good. He's good and dead.
Yeah, well, I never stopped anyone else from ever coming back. I mean, look at what happened at the end of the Wii U version of Sonic Lost World, apparently.
Now I'm just imagining the very banjo-heavy version of the Deadly Six theme playing during the Devil Doom fight.
Good. Here's one from the Oddly Roger. How would each of the Sonic Boomcast answer the trolley problem? We should probably establish what the trolley problem is first.
Please be my guest.
Hold on. I'm trying to think. I know what it is. It's the one where you either decide whether to kill a bunch of people or only like one person, right?
Right.
Yeah, effectively.
The trolley's out of control. You're sitting at the switcher of the tracks, and you can choose whether to run over the one person or run over more.
Yes, yeah. There's more. There's two tracks, and a trolley is come careening down the tracks out of control, and you have the choice of either sending it to run over a bunch of people who are tied to the tracks, or just one person. So,
now, thankfully, this is Sonic Boom.
Yes.
Where there are no serious answers.
Yes.
So Sonic would just say he would rescue them all before the trolley even got there.
Yeah.
Like he'd be waiting for the trolley to pass. Tails would be hung up on why would the trolley lose control like that? That seems like a terrible design flaw. Hold on, I need to figure out how to fix this. Amy would just say, I would stop the trolley. No, the trolley can't be stopped. The brakes are broken. Then I would stop the trolley.
Yeah, with their hammer. It's a little.
And Knuckles would go, I'm with her. I'd stop the trolley. Just pick it up. It ain't that hard. Why is this a problem? Sticks is meanwhile going, what the question really should be is who tied those people to the tracks in the first place?
Exactly.
Who set the trolley rolling? Nobody asks the hard questions. And Eggman asks what you're doing, snoop around in his plans.
Eggman is trying to figure out how to do multi-track drifting so he can hit both sides at the same time.
Which track is Sonic tied on? I'll run over that one.
I'll run over them both. Why not? All right. Here's a question from Thievius. In a recent BumbleKast, you were asked a question involving Eggman using the Death Note. My question is, would Eggman ever actually use the book on Sonic, or is he too stubborn to take the free win? I feel like he would try, but it would backfire.
He just scribbles in there, Sonic the Hedgehog, and he waits. Why isn't it working? We have to write his actual full name in there.
Oh, no!
It's not Sonic the Hedgehog!
No!
What's his name?
No! No!
There's no way this can work. All right, fine. Ogilvy Maurice the Hedgehog. Did it work yet? Good, because if that did, it would have given me a heart attack. Nicky the Hedgehog?
No.
No? Does this thing even work?
No. Mr. Needlemouse? Oh, boy. Okay. Does he write a different name to test it?
All right, I need some empirical evidence here. Dr. Ivo Robot. Father, don't!
I mean, I guess that would be the best way to figure it out. Oh, no. Oh, boy. I feel like he would be like, fine, it's stupid. I'm just going to kill him myself. Let's go about this the old-fashioned way. I don't need this stupid book.
Fine, we'll put it to the ultimate test. Death Note. And it just bursts into flame. It did work.
Wow.
Well, then what's his freaking name?
Oh, no, and now he's going to be trying to figure that out for the rest of his life.
Metal Sonic's breaking down with this existential crisis. His name isn't even right.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Well, take solace in the fact your name's not Metal Ogilvy.
Oh! Do not want. Twilord has a question. Can you do an impression of Sonic paraquoting the Joker?
Okay, I don't know if I can do a Roger Sonic, but,
just do a generic. Do a generic Sonic. All right.
Gotta give you baddie points. He came all the way back from the dead to make this shindig happen. Oh, we should take a picture. First me versus him, then you versus him, and then one of us with the stop sign.
Nice. Good old shindig. Dragon 5 has a question. I just got the Sonic official cookbook and was surprised when I saw Tingle and Whisper had their own dishes. However, that got me thinking, where's Starline? I want to cook a trauma souffle. In all seriousness, if Starline were to be included, what would his dish be?
Oh, something complicated and decadent.
Something way too much. Just too much.
Do you already have a sous vide apparatus? Well, no, go get one.
Something egg-based, probably.
Are Tibetan snow crabs in season? No, you have to wait. Step 1, make a perfect souffle.
Yes, the first time. The question is, can he actually cook?
Yes, and it's technically well executed, but it's lacking in flavor.
Oh.
It's all very bland. It looks great.
Yeah.
The textures are there, but it never tastes quite right.
Yeah. He's just, I guess that's, I guess that tracks. All right. Wildcard717 has a question. Of all the properties you've worked on, Sonic, Rivals of Aether, Dragoon, etc., which would you pitch to be a hit Broadway musical and why? Which would you pitch to be the biggest Broadway flop to embezzle millions of dollars, a la The Producers, and why?
Rivals of Aether for both.
Okay.
Because I want to see these poor people walk out in their like halfway committed to fursuits, but not really.
Okay.
To sing about all the trauma of having to fight each other and make it self-serious. It would be the most glorious train wreck to ever grace the stage. I'm not talking like The Lion King where I rolled my eyes at the idea and then I actually saw the show and it was artistically beautiful. Like the way that they worked around the concept and presented things very interpretively. Brilliant. You know, I was a smug jerk to ever roll my eyes at it. It's a beautiful show, visually, musically, everything. I'm not talking about doing something like that. I'm not talking about art. I'm talking about ort. I'm talking about something that should never be greenlit, that is wholly indulgent, but perhaps is so bad you enjoy it.
Spider-Man turned out the dark.
Exactly. That isn't to cast dispersions at Rivals of Aether. It's great. I enjoy working on it, and it does everything right within its own context. I'm talking about the cheesy Broadway musical adaptation.
Which is somehow both a hit and a flop?
Yes. Critically panned, they can't stop selling tickets.
I mean, yeah. All right. Works for me.
You have some poor guy schlepping out all hunched back playing Forsburn, but then this beautiful voice, who killed my father and framed it on me? And that's like a full 5-minute song. It would be so awful. I love it. I love this terrible idea.
The chat is saying so it'd be Cats.
Yes, only slightly more coherent.
And slightly more furry. Only slightly, though.
Debatably. Depends on which direction you go with the costume.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we got a question from Zach D. Hey, Ian, something's been bugging me. It's been subtly implied in the comics and joked about on the show that Tangle and Whisper are quote-unquote really good friends. And as someone who likes the two together, I like that. However, the thing that bugs me is that whole thing with Whisper's character. Is that she was hesitant to make friends with anyone because of what happened to her old team, became friends with Tangle because of them working together, with the biggest example being the Tangle and Whisper miniseries. And yes, I know she's working on it, as shown in some of the more recent issues, but I still think Whisper would be somewhat hesitant with making friends, let alone starting to date someone. Especially in this case, if there was a chance it could ruin her friendship with Tangle. What do you think, Mr. Flynn? Do I have a point or am I missing something? And if you can't really talk about this for some reason, then does Jewel like the Beatles?
Big fan of Ringo. No, I think it's a perfectly valid point and concern. Right there with you. But kind of the point of the Tangle Whisper miniseries was Whisper becoming friends with Tangle despite herself. And Tangle being such a good friend that she was able to break through, and Whisper's able to let her guard down a little bit and accept, yes, I can ask for help, and yes, I can care for another person again on any level. I can trust another person. I can be emotionally open to a degree. And she's been struggling with that for, God, how many years now?
Mm-hmm.
A while.
A while.
So I think it's been a gradual enough progression, and that she has clearly struggled with the concept enough that I personally, across my work and Evan's work and others, am satisfied with their friendship and how it has managed to grow and endure the test of time. And if there's more to it than that, then we can actually officially acknowledge. I feel like the groundwork has been laid, so that's acceptable too.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing is that sometimes like friendship just kind of happens. Sometimes like you're not expecting it, so yeah, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, all right, this is it now. This is kind of how it is. So, all right.
Yeah, but like specifically with Whisper, who had all her guards up.
Yes. But even still,
it's understandable that, it would take time for that. And that just is a testament of how good of a friend Tangle is.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really like amazing that Tangle was even able to break down those barriers to begin with. But, if there's anyone who could have done it, it would have been Tangle.
Tangle or Sonic, but I think Tangle got to her first.
Yes. Also, Sonic's taken by himself, so.
Talking about friends, Kyle, friends.
Yeah, well. They're really good friends. Really good friends. All right, and our last one is from Onyxodon. After Starline watched the new Wonka movie, which he loved, except for Wonka's infectious positivity, he was inspired to write a song that he would sing after to this obviously inevitable victory against Eggman, and practice it in front of Surgeon Kit. Would you care to sing it for us, please? It's to the tune of Pure Imagination. Choose whichever version you want. Also, let's hope Wonka Starline wins a thumbnail.
Well, they've provided the lyrics.
Yep.
You know what? I'll do this a cappella.
Yeah.
And if you want to clip this out and plug it to whatever version you like, have fun with your editing. Find the Starline voice, find the Starline key. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of utter devastation. Take a look, and you'll see into their ruination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my perfection. What I'll do with my brand new nation. If you want to view paradise, simply bow to me and view it. Anything I want to, I'll do it. Want to take the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with utter devastation. Living there, you'll serve me. If alive you want to be. If you want to view paradise, simply bow to me and view it. Anything I want to, I'll do it. Want to take the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with utter devastation. Living there, you'll serve me. If alive you want to be.
Bravo. That's terrifying. Very nice. Very nice.
Serve me in the schnozberries will taste like schnozberries.
He really is the evil Willy Wonka of Sonic world, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, it's debatable whether Willy Wonka is even just evil to begin with, but kinda. He's a bit more neutral than most, but he doesn't have the.
Why did you paint all the egg pawns green on top? Well, now they look like Oompa-Loompas.
Except he doesn't have the chocolate. He's got to get some chocolate. Oh man! Speaking of getting some chocolate, I think it's time for us to go.
Alrighty. Thanks to everyone who supports the show via patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and being our YouTube members. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Go enjoy some chocolate. I mean, why not? Treat yourself. And we'll see you next time on the BumbleKast.
See you in the next world of utter devastation. Oh man, that was very well done.
Especially since I realized partway through I didn't actually read it. I just kind of did it blind.
Yep.
Sorry, phone's going off.
I know.
Wasn't expecting that. Okay, now it's muted. Haha.
Ha ha ha. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
First thing we have to do is get the first freaking book out the door.
Come on, buddy. You can do it.
Oh, yes, I have all these grand plans. And how are you going to do them? I don't know.
How are you going to fund this?
With what money? Oh!
Money? Oh, shit.
You're going to be a big hit right as society collapses, and none of this will ever see the light of day.
Perfect.
Yes, there will be misery and poverty and pestilence and famine and whatnot, but I won't get to see a video game with my property in it.
Wee. Chat's throwing out the suggestion of Kickstarter. I feel like you're kind of burned by Kickstarter, though.
Well, Kickstarter, I would need to bring way more to the table.
Yeah.
I have no studio. I have no experience. I have nothing. I have just like a vague big idea. Hi, I'm Ian Flynn. I've written Sonic the Hedgehog that half the internet hates. Give me millions of dollars and I might be able to put together a video game about this property that doesn't actually exist yet.
Yeah. Half the internet. I think it's more like a tiny 1/16 trillionth of the internet.
Yeah, but it's funnier to say it.
I think most people either like
There's
it or
only like 20 people on the internet anyway.
I think most people either like it or they don't care or they've never heard of you. I mean, somebody must like you that they hired you to write the game.
No, yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Yeah.